Host and guest and not WSTU. WSTU does not endorse any product mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU.
The Treasure Coast longest running local talk radio show is on the air. The Treasure Coast Forum. Get interested, get educated, get involved, and give us a call with your opinions at 220-9788. And here's your host of the Treasure Coast Forum.
Hey, yo, everybody. You are listening to WSTU 1450 Treasure Coast Forum. I'm Amira, and I'm here once again with Mr. Frank Metzapelli.
Yes. I'm Amira. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Amira's stressed out a little bit today because she's got finals and she's got
You have
stuff.
to tell the whole world. Actually,
Well-
you're just telling like the senior community of Martin County.
Okay.
But okay.
Other than that, yeah.
Finals. I mean, the
Yeah.
exams are kind of done. There's 2 final tests, but I'm not worried about the tests. I'm worried about the thing that's going to Europe
No.
tomorrow.
What's going to Europe tomorrow?
The Theory of Knowledge exhibition.
So for the uninitiated, please tell
Okay.
us, share with us the
So-
theory of knowledge.
Every IB kid is required to take Theory of Knowledge, which is
Okay.
kind of like a philosophy class. But what's cool about this class is it's kind of like it's a curriculum without borders. So we like look at political figures, tweets, like everything that every other class would probably be like, it's a no. But we do everything. And we talk about controversial stuff and we do debates and all sorts of stuff. But there's
Sounds
2
like
things.
something that Aristotle would be doing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You know
Mhm.
what? In one of my presentations for tomorrow, I have Plato on
There
it.
you go.
Just Plato.
See ya. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. So there's 2 things we need to do. We're supposed to do a theory of knowledge essay where we take a philosophical prompt about how we develop knowledge, how our knowledge affects things, how things affect knowledge and stuff like that. And we're supposed to write an essay about it, but I don't have to worry about it right now because that's next year.
Okay.
But thing I'm worried about now is a TOK exhibition. Basically, you choose a prompt, philosophical prompt. You pick 3 objects. Then you have to explain, write commentaries for the 3 objects about how they link to that prompt and to how knowledge is developed or whatever as a whole, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be 950 words, like as close to 950 words as possible. You can't go over and you can't go like super under. Like you can have 945, 946, but it's got to be around 950. Mine's exactly 950.
Nice.
But
But
I'm
you
just worried.
agonized because you had to move 3 words around in order to
Not
make...
just that. That was
Yeah.
just I was exaggerating, but there
Oh,
was things
okay.
I had to do,
Hmm.
and I feel I don't know. It's supposed to be concise. The thing is, the 3 objects I chose was Putin's interview with Tucker Carlson.
Mm-hmm.
I chose The Truman Show, the Jim Carrey movie, and then To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee.
All right.
And the thing is, my Tucker Carlson
Ki-
Putin interview
yeah.
object
Mm-hmm.
is like 346 words, and then the To Kill a Mockingbird is like 290 something, 293, and then the Truman Show is like 315.
Okay.
Something like that. So like the first one is super bulky. So I don't know if I need to take some of that stuff out
Mhm.
and then put something else and add on to the other objects or to balance all 3. That's what I'm worried about. I don't know exactly what to do with it. So I paid $54 freaking dollars to send my TOK exhibition to Europe. And actually, I initially paid only 34 because I accidentally filled in the standard delivery, which will give me feedback in 3 days instead of in 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
So then I got the 51. So now I have spent probably $80.
No.
I canceled the other one. They have a money back guarantee
Good,
thing,
good.
but they haven't told me if it's been canceled yet.
Hmm.
Wait, has it been canceled? No, that's not an email for being canceled.
Oh.
That's an email from Abyss Salon.
Hmm.
My mom's email account
Oh.
is it's
Okay.
linked with mine.
Okay.
I told my dad the situation, and his whole response was, "What the?" That's it.
What the?
He didn't finish it.
Oh, yeah.
I probably know what
Yeah.
he wanted to say.
What the heck?
Yeah, no,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, I don't.
We're
think it
going
was
to
what
go
the
with
heck.
that. We're radio
yeah,
friendly.
Okay, yeah, we're
Yes.
radio friendly.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So radio's feelings get hurt when they hear anything else.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Exactly right.
Okay. So that's that.
So give us a thumbnail understanding of what you spoke about on To Kill a Mockingbird,
Oh, okay.
The Truman Show.
So my prompt is
Yeah.
how do our interactions with others affect knowledge?
Okay.
Okay. So for Putin's interview with Tucker Carlson, this is the easiest one for me to talk about. Because, you know.
Yeah, I remember
stuff
you were
goes-
pretty enamored with that. I mean, we spoke
I
about
loved it. It was
right?
so fun.
right.
Anyway, I use this because So the whole reason why Tucker went there is because every other Western press organization kept going for Ukraine, and they kept interviewing Zelensky. And like even David Letterman went and did a whole movie with Zelensky and all that stuff.
Right.
And they're just, it's kind of at
It's
this point,
one-sided.
it's very one-sided.
Right.
Some people argue it's propaganda to some extent. And
All
so, like,
things are.
Yeah, everything
Right.
is.
Right.
But is chocolate propaganda?
It depends on how you use it.
But if you just eat it, is that propaganda?
No, but how you use it, So
Okay. Anyway,
yeah, or talk about it.
I'm very
or,
hungry.
Yeah, me too. So,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
This whole radio show is propaganda, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they did that interview, and Tucker Carlson did it
Yes.
so he can get both sides, because that's true journalism. That's what he's talking about.
Right.
But the thing is, even though we're getting more pieces of the knowledge as a
Mhm.
whole about the Russo-Ukrainian conflict by going to Putin,
Right.
at the same time, Tucker only interacted with Putin, and so he was only in Putin's sphere of influence. Tucker only saw what Putin wanted him to see, and you see
Correct.
that when he goes to the grocery
Right.
store and's like, "Oh my God, Russia's economy is so much better than America's economy. Look, I got like a week's worth of groceries at such a low price." But then you don't actually see like the actual wages
Right.
that Russian people have.
Right.
And so then Putin, you don't get the whole picture, period, because your interactions are so limited.
Right.
So he got Putin's story, or what Putin wanted, to
Right.
be published.
And you have to remember, Putin is a former KGB official.
Oh yeah,
So he is skilled in propaganda
yeah.
and framing any issue.
Basically, he's just a really good liar.
Right. And framing the issues to give you the result that he wants you to understand.
Yeah.
Right.
So therefore, like our interactions, our knowledge when we interact with others, it kind of
You have to
it
understand
doesn't
their-
give us the complete knowledge.
Right. There's always a bias.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Okay.
So that was my first commentary.
Okay.
Second one for the Truman Show.
Yes.
So
So tell the people what the Truman Show is,
such a good movie.
in case they missed the
Okay.
movie. Yeah.
Truman Show was a movie in the 90s that has Jim Carrey in it. It has Ed Harris in it, and a few other people I don't know names of,
Right.
but I've seen their faces many
Right.
times.
Ed
right.
Harris, another famous actor, did
Yeah.
a lot of quality movies. Mm-hmm.
Actually, what's cool is that Ed Harris also played Atticus Finch in Like to Kill Mockingbird on Broadway
Nice.
At some point.
I didn't know that.
at some point.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
so basically, Truman Show is a fictional movie about this little baby that's born and it's orphaned and no one loves it. So then this big corporation owned by Ed Harris said, like, let's buy this baby. They buy the baby.
Right.
They build a whole fabricated island town.
Right.
They put the
It's like
baby in the
like
island
a
town.
ginormous movie set.
Yes, like a ginormous movie set.
Right.
And they raise the baby in this town. So Truman is raised in a fake town, thinking that's the real world.
Fake,
so
with
that
fake
and,
parents,
yes,
fake friends.
and it's filmed. So that they wanted to capture a true reality TV show.
right.
And so they used him for profit, as like corporate craziness. Also, like Ed Harris's character had some creepy moments where I think he felt like he was Truman's daddy.
Yeah.
And he's like stroking the screen while he's sleeping. And I'm like,
yeah.
yikes. Yikes.
Yikes.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so Truman is
Kinda
like
creeps you out a little
completely
bit.
oblivious
Yeah.
to what's going on in this little island town. And everything he knows is a lie. His whole life's a lie. So this was perfect for my prompt because the actors that he interacted with were forced to exaggerate the dangers of the outside world. Were forced to tell Truman only what the corporation wanted Truman to know.
So
and
in
keep
other
him
words,
ignorant.
what you're saying is that they were told there was a narrative that they were
There's a narrative.
supposed to share.
Impose on Truman.
Correct. So that
Yeah.
so he got the narrative understanding from their perspective
Yeah.
that they were told to share with him.
Additionally,
Right.
like the whole design of the fabricated island set
Mhm.
is literally designed to brainwash him subconsciously. If you look at there's one moment where he goes to the travel agent, and when he sits in the office, there are these posters of these airplanes literally being like cut in half with just a little piece of lightning, like a bolt of lightning. And it's like, oh, traveling isn't safe.
Oh,
It was
wow.
like all of that propaganda all around. When you watch the movie, you notice his surroundings. They're specifically designed to deter him from ever questioning what's going on around him or ever, questioning
Mhm.
about what's going on outside.
right.
And then his friends are always saying, did you hear about this war in this random so-and-so country? Oh my God, the outside world is so bad. And then Like they even staged his father's death when he was a kid. They had his father, the actor playing his father, to pretend to die when they went on a sailing trip.
Wow.
So that Truman would have a fear of water, and he did have a phobia of water. So that every time he would like want to go on a boat to leave, he couldn't do it. So it's insane what they did. And
Yeah.
it wasn't until there was this girl named Sylvia who was an actress who she was supposed to play his love interest.
Right.
She felt bad. She told him, "It's all fake, Truman. It's all a script." And they took her. There was a car that came in,
Yeah.
and it was like supposed to be her quote unquote dad. It was like, "Sylvia, you have to come home now." And
They
she's like,
s-
"No, don't take me." And then they take her.
They
And she's like, "See
spirited
me in
her away.
Fiji."
Yes.
Right? So as soon as he had that interaction, all of a sudden he was like, I can't trust knowledge unless it's discovered in my own agency. So then
Right.
he starts like rebelling and trying to he doesn't trust anything anymore.
Right.
And there's also like a personal engagement component that you're supposed to put in these commentaries. So my personal engagement is that I'm like pretty sheltered kid. I've never been to Stewart Beach or Jensen, like, any
I
Stewart Beach.
know. You
I
need
barely-
to get your feet
I
in the
haven't been
sand.
anywhere, and I've lived here for like 8 years. I remember one time I was in my driveway, and there was a woman just walking her dog.
Yeah.
And she saw me, and then we started talking through my gate. And then she's like, "So have you just moved here? Like last year? I haven't seen you." And I'm like, "How long you lived there?" She's like, "I've lived here for 20 years." And I'm like, "I lived here for 8." She's like, "What?" Yeah. She's like, "I walk my dog every day. I've never seen you." And I'm like, "Yeah, because I just don't go out at all." Anyway, so that's that. So my whole knowledge of the world is in my phone. I get it from my phone.
right.
So that makes me a little skeptical about what I know, because I've never really attained knowledge through my own agency. So
Hmm.
I know what Truman feels a little bit to some extent.
Mhm. Right.
So that was my personal engagement for that one.
Okay, well, that's an excellent one.
Yeah. Of course,
Yeah.
I can't write as in depth as I spoke about, because you only have like 950 words for the whole thing. So yay.
And for the uninitiated,
Uh-huh.
950 words is not a lot of words.
It's not a
when
lot.
you're really trying to
Yeah.
fully explain a thought.
That's why
Right.
this TOK exhibition is challenging. Otherwise, it would be a piece of cake if it was
Right.
unlimited word count. But the fact that there's a word limit of 950 kills me, especially
Right.
because especially when I write, I am known for my flowery prose.
Right.
So then
So they want the
they want the nitty gritty, just concise bullet
the
point. type of
elevator
thing.
speech.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that was pretty much it. And then for
Mhm.
my third object, I used To Kill a Mockingbird.
Right. Which
And
is
so-
a classic movie.
Yeah.
It's
I
yes.
lied about the personal engagement for this one.
Okay.
I made it up.
Okay,
They won't
well-
know. They
well.
can't check.
Well.
But it was good. It looked pretty good.
Okay.
It's
All
pretty
right.
impactful.
All right.
Like I know one girl, she had to do a math internal assessment, and she invented a brother with cancer to make the personal engagement point look better.
Okay.
So yeah, I was going to do that, but when I heard she did that, I'm like, I
Yeah.
actually have a real brother. Let me use him. So I
Yeah.
used him. I didn't pretend that he had cancer. Instead,
Right.
I didn't pretend. I just talked about his actual issues.
Right. Which
So-
which there are plenty.
Oh
And-
yeah,
and
there's
enough
so
to
many.
talk about. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, so with To Kill a Mockingbird, with
Yes.
interactions and stuff, of course, the whole moral of the book is like Atticus tells Scout. Basically, okay, so let me tell you what this book's about if you haven't read it.
Yes.
So basically, it takes place in a fictional town called Maycomb in Alabama in
Mhm.
the 1930s in the Great Depression, and it's told in a 5-year-old girl, Scout, her name's Scout's point of view. She's like a tomboy, right? She has a
Mhm.
brother named Jem, and then she has a really cool dad named Atticus. He's like the most perfect human being ever.
It's like a Greek name, Atticus.
Atticus, it is a Greek name.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like the most perfect person ever.
Wow.
Like the most morally righteous,
Mm.
like perfecto person. Like it's insane how perfect this. You know he's a fictional character.
Right.
Anyway,
For me,
Mhm.
I like it. There's a reason why writers pick character names. The names are just not throwaway names.
yeah,
There's some weight to the use of those names.
like the African American maid Calpurnia. She's
Mhm.
named after like Julius Caesar's maid or something like that, or
Mhm.
like first wife or whatever.
Mhm.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so basically, Alabama, Great Depression, you can pretty much picture a lot of racists
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
There was
pretty
a lot
much.
in the
Yeah,
20s.
everywhere.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. So that's a big part of this book.
Right.
So another thing, it's not just about race, but it's basically about empathy, period. Because there's this one character
Well,
named
all the
Boo
culture,
Radley.
cultural differences, right?
There's this one
Mhm.
character named Boo Radley. I didn't have time to put him in the commentary. I didn't have enough space, but he lived in this Radley house and he was locked in and everyone thought that he was like a killer and all that. No one really knew anything about him and he was freaky. But it turns out towards the end, spoiler alert, I'm going to be spoiling everything.
Oh no.
Okay?
All right. Do tell.
That Boo Radley was actually a nice person, actually helped save Scout a couple of times. Like he saved her life and stuff. And so with this in mind, Atticus tells Scout, like it was a big part of the book, that you don't really know someone unless you climb into their skin and walk around in it.
That's right.
Right?
Mhm.
So it was a big thing. So the thing is, what I was arguing is that Tom Robinson, who's African American, who's wrongfully charged for rape, gets wrongly convicted and sentenced to death penalty.
Wow.
Because I mean, it was obvious. All the evidence was there. Atticus was his lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
He put all the evidence there. It was obvious that Tom didn't do it. There was even a confession at some point by someone that Tom didn't do it. But the jury still decided to say that Tom did it because of prejudice. And so that type of ignorance, because of the people Maycomb constantly interacting with their peers that share the same prejudice view, they kind of restrict themselves from accepting new knowledge or exploring knowledge for the sake of appealing to popular knowledge.
Right. Or maintaining a certain facade.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that was a huge thing. And the reason is that so many other people are racist. They're so ignorant of like the fact that skin doesn't matter. Right. But Scout isn't. And she's like 5 years old. And that's because of her interactions. It's because she has a great dad. She interacts with a really amazing, morally righteous person who sees everyone the same.
Right.
Then she has an African-American maid. She's also Calpurnia.
Like a nanny.
Disciplines her. And, you know, it's kind of like her mom because she doesn't have a mom. Her mom died when she was a kid. And then Calpurnia also takes Scout to a black church and stuff like that. So Scout gets exposed. Gets this exposure that other people don't have. She has these interactions that other people don't have. Also, she's the one who was saved by Boo Radley. The rest of the town doesn't know that Boo Radley did it. At the end, like even the sheriff is like, we should keep this hushed because Boo Radley. So basically, the woman who said she was raped by Tom Robinson, her dad told her to lie because in actuality, she was actually attracted to Tom Robinson and had a thing with him. But of course, the dad, who was this guy named Yule, he totally hated that because he was like, oh my God, no, black guy, ew. Right. So then he beat her and stuff like that. And he's a drunk and all that. So then she was compelled to be like, Tom Robinson raped me in court, even though that wasn't true. Then Atticus, you know, exposed Yule in front of everyone because he proved everything. Everyone saw the whole story. And so then Yule was really angry. He wanted to get revenge. He was drunk and he tried to kill Atticus's kids, Scout and Jem. And Boo Radley saved them. But then in the what you call it, there's a little fight and Yule falls on his own knife. So he dies. So then Sheriff was like, let's keep this hushed about Boo Radley and just say that he was drunk and fell on his knife. Otherwise it would be like a whole thing and Boo Radley would probably be convicted with the same jury, you know, same type of people. It's a small town. Right. If they're gonna like condemn Tom Robinson, they'll condemn him too. Right. So that was pretty much it. So because Scout only has this knowledge about accepting others and really climbing into people's skins and walking around in them because she actually did that. Right. Like she had those interactions that the rest of the town will never get. Right. They will never know who Boo Radley really is and his true character. They will never know. Right. So that was my commentary for that. But of course I said it better than I wrote it probably.
Well, I think you may have written it better than you shared on air. So I'm going to go with that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. All right. So there's some interesting things going on in the news, but thank you for sharing. That's a great story. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was something that came to my attention earlier today. So, you know the country of Jordan. Yeah. So some people left Jordan and they decided to come to the U.S. illegally. Okay. As people seem to want to do lately. And they tried to, and this really hasn't been in the press that much, but apparently it's kind of trickling out. So 6 days ago, this made the press, a local paper called the PotomacLocal.com So and they talked about drivers attempting to breach Quantico at the gate. Of course, it echoes the deadly incidents of the White House versus, and the White House and the military bases, people trying to break into those over the past few years. So, so the two people involved are both Jordanian citizens. They are being held by ICE, and there's not much being said about it. So, very interesting. And that's, of course, according to the Marine Corps Times. And then another article written by the New York Post says an illegal border crosser, probably Jordanian, tried to force his way into a U.S. Marine base.
That's weird.
Yes.
Why would you do that?
Yes. So
Jordanian, that's geographically very close to the
Right.
place that we know where something's going on.
Right. Right. So, yeah. So interesting. And yet we don't hear anything about it. A little bit like your Kill a
less-
Mockingbird story,
the
right?
less we hear about it, the more we know, kind of. The more we know that it's serious.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yes. Well said. Yes.
Yeah.
You want to peel this onion a little more. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want us to know anything because it's definitely super. Exactly what we're speculating right now is what's happening. Like your wildest imagination. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Also, did you hear about Jerry Seinfeld and Duke University?
Yes.
Oh my
You want to talk
God.
about that? That's marvelous.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So a handful of students walked out during the commencement.
Quite a lot. They
Yeah.
booed too. Which
So
is so crazy.
the crowd booed the students
I
that
hope
were walking out is
Okay.
what had happened.
Okay.
And there were thousands of students there,
Mhm.
right? Because
Mhm.
Duke is a big
Yeah.
university.
And then they start cheering Jerry.
And there was about, I think, no more than 40 kids that
Mhm.
walked out.
Yeah.
So as a percentage,
It doesn't matter. They're stupid.
it's
anyway.
a fraction of a percent
Yeah.
of the student body that was there.
Yeah.
But they got all the mention, and all that. But go ahead. So yeah, go
No,
ahead.
that's literally everything I was gonna say.
I'm sorry.
That's all I saw. No,
didn't wanna
it's
take away
fine.
your
You
thunder.
said it better. I literally was like thunder rambling for like the first 20 minutes about my stupid TOK exhibition. So don't worry about it.
Okay, so I'm expanding this story that I clicked on it. So early morning, May 3rd. May 3rd. Today is what?
May
16.
16th, yeah.
Right? So 13 days ago.
Okay.
We're just now hearing about it.
What is it?
Right? So two men in a two men in a box truck pulled up to the front gate of Quantico Marine Corps Base, 35 miles southwest of Washington, D.C., and tried to lie their way inside, claiming they were American delivery men.
Did they do it with a really strong Jordanian accent?
Yeah. We want to come inside. After a skeptical military police channeled them to an area for secondary security inspection, the driver hit the gas in defiance of halt orders and tried to barrel the truck into the base's town center. Quick thinking of the MPs put up road barriers and stopped the truck.
Why was there a bomb in it or something?
But they don't tell you.
That's what it
exactly.
sounds like.
Yeah, right?
If you were
The
gonna
Marines-
push the pedal that fast, like before even being checked,
Right.
right? It's like it sounds like there was a bomb in that truck.
Right. Again, this is according to the New York Post. So the Marines ended up citing the two for trespassing on federal property.
They should get a little more. I think this is fake.
Well, ICE is holding them too. So
Who's holding them?
ICE,
Who's ICE?
that's immigration.
Oh, okay, I know.
Right. So my guess is they'll probably get a plane ride back to Jordan. Ultimately, maybe they'll get tried here and then they can share a jail cell in Jordan, that type of thing. But
At least they'll be together.
isn't it sweet?
Aww.
Yeah, they can hold hands and everything. So, we know this because a report in the Potomac local news founded in 2010 to help people understand what is happening in their local communities in Northern Virginia. Yet, while reporter Kelly Stenkowski, who who broke what happened, focuses on her local readership. She's shocked this story hasn't gotten more national attention. Duh.
Yeah. way.
Right? Right?
They barely barely give us any
Sinkowski's
details.
story quoted a prepared email statement from base spokesman Captain Michael Curtis, shared with me the post confirming the incident's basic contours, but no more. Whoa.
Whoa, no more.
Right. But Senkowski kept pressing. She cited multiple anonymous sources who told her that one or two individuals in the truck were Jordanian foreign nationals who recently crossed the southern border into the U.S. Wow. See this?
Yeah.
Wow. So, yeah. So, more to come.
Yeah.
We're going to learn more. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but this
Mhm.
is scary, scary stuff. They've been warning us for months
Mhm.
that there are bad people that have been coming over the border that we have to be on
Yeah, but
alert for.
Jordanians. I always assumed.
Oh no, they're coming from like several countries, and Jordan is only one of them.
Why Jordan?
Oh, they're coming from all kinds of countries, and some of them are not friendly
Mhm.
to U.S. So
Mhm.
yeah,
And they're not coming to seek for asylum, obviously.
no,
No.
not if they're. So how do they get a hold of a black
Yeah,
panel
I know.
truck?
Why would they go into that? As soon as that happens,
So they
it's
come
so-
here.
So freaky.
They
Do you
cross
think
the
maybe
border.
this was suppressed because it interferes with the left
Well, they
agenda?
have to figure out. Well, I don't know, but they have to figure out where do they get the resources
Yeah,
to
I
get the
know.
truck to get all the way from
Mexico?
all the way from the southern border all the way to D.C. to Quantico.
Oh, they went to
Right?
Quantico. I was thinking it was in Texas, some naval base
No,
in
no,
Texas.
no.
They went all the way to
To-
Quantico. They made it.
In Virginia.
They
Yes.
made it all the way to Virginia
Yes. In a
from
black.
the southern border.
So they're wearing clothing that would make them appear to be delivery guys. Right? A black.
Okay.
Whoa.
All of this
Oh,
doesn't add up.
It sounds to me like somebody or
Let
some
them in.
organization
Hired them. Let
Uh,
them in.
Well, I think they let themselves in, but I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with the idea that there were people on this side that
On our side.
on our side of the border,
Yeah.
just our side of the border, not our
Yeah.
side of the
Yeah.
thinking process.
Yeah. No.
That assisted them in getting them money, equipment, clothing,
Mhm.
stuff.
There are moles.
Yeah. Wow. Weird stuff going on. All right.
Real life is so weird. I think the movies are more believable than this. I know what the hell.
Well, they are kind of a lens, right? We can see things some days. All right. We're going to take a regulation timeout, but we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. So stick with us.
You don't need a new hat.
The funny thing, but the minute I start talking about money, you can hear me fine.
I always hear you, Blanche. What'd you say?
I asked you why you came home so late last night.
I was working, Blanche. I told you I had to work overtime. Pour me some more coffee.
That's tea. Did you get paid?
I'll get paid.
What time did you get home?
12:30.
If you got home at 12:30, why were you so late coming to bed? I know for a fact you didn't go to bed until almost 2.
I was in the kitchen putting the stuff away.
What stuff?
What's the matter, Blanche? You know you told me to bring stuff home for the party this afternoon. Your sister Clara's arriving from Chicago today, and you told me to bring stuff. Well, I brought stuff.
I brought stuff. So that's from 1946. It's the Bickersons. And
I like how they're named the Bickersons.
the
'cause they're always
Bickersons.
bickering.
Yes, bicker back and forth.
Yeah.
Yes. And Don Amici, Francis Langford.
Mm-hmm.
Francis Langford was a local resident, Jensen Beach.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Where's Don Amici? Where's he from again?
I don't know where he hails from originally, but I'm going to guess somewhere in the Northeast based upon the
Amici-ness.
the tone of his voice.
Oh,
right.
okay. I'd call it the
The,
Amici-ness.
the Amici. Don Amici.
Yeah.
I like the name.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of rolls off your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Better than my last name. It rolls off the tongue, but I think better.
Yeah, I think it's got the cheese, like
Yeah.
cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, there it is. That's all good.
I still like your name. Your name's Bouncier, though.
Yeah, thanks. Bouncier.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it's got multiple syllables.
Yeah, but that's how I like judge if an Italian word's fun or not, depending on how bouncy it is.
Okay. All right. Follow the bouncing ball. Okay. So what's going on in the world today? Let's see. Breaking news.
It was finally revealed now, which is
Yes.
weird about Elon Musk's Neuralink. That
Oh yeah.
yeah. So did you hear about?
The guy that plays chess.
Yeah,
Mhm,
exactly. I've
Mhm.
talked about him earlier,
mhm.
but he revealed recently that there was a malfunction
On the chip.
at the beginning. Of
Mhm.
course, they didn't mention it at the time. They just
No.
wanted to focus on success. Now they tell us there was a malfunction at
Right.
some point.
Right.
They didn't specify what it really was.
Okay.
There's something to do, I think, with the threads because the wires, they're like thinner than hair.
Right.
So that I can imagine that being a bit of a problem, especially when you lose it and you can't see it anymore.
Right.
That's my limited understanding.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that's not the issue, but something about that. But the dude said that when it first happened, when he was so basically for all of y'all who don't know about the Neuralink, it's kind of a very small chip that goes in your brain and it allows paraplegics or anyone, period, to move cursors and interact with digital mediums with their mind. So they can't move objects. That's not going to happen.
Right.
But they can use a computer with
they
their
could
brain.
interface with a computer.
Yes.
Right.
So
Mhm,
it's worked so far. Like we've seen a video of one of the paraplegic guys. I think he was a veteran.
mhm.
He was able to play digital chess while just looking at the screen and thinking, and everything would move, the cursor, everything. And so it's fundamentally like changed his life completely. He loves it so much. And all of a
Right.
sudden, he's revealed now that there was at some point a malfunction where there was a delay when he would look at the computer and it would take forever for the cursor to actually do what he wanted to do. There's a
Right.
delay and he was freaking out and he started crying because
Oh.
he thought that Elon
It-
Musk would just move on to the next guy, the
Right.
next guinea pig.
Yeah.
But I guess that didn't happen. They didn't give up on him. Maybe that's why they decided not to sell the story till they found out, wait, this makes us actually look good.
Well,
It makes us look more humane.
the thing is, it's
Yeah.
cutting edge technology.
it's
There
brand
is
new.
nothing else
Like it.
in any field. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's a human guinea pig, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right. But is a volunteer
Yeah.
and gleefully doing this because what
Mhm.
other option is
Yeah.
there?
He has nothing
Yeah.
to lose.
Right.
Yeah.
And so got a positive result.
Yeah.
For the most part, but there's always going to be bumps in the road
Yeah.
because this is still groundbreaking, brand new
I hope there's no
technology.
long-term effects. That's the thing. And also,
Yeah,
another
well,
concern I have is
there's
that all the data
Right.
goes to Elon Musk. Everything in your brain. Like every time some neural signaling happens or anything you use with your device,
Right.
because it's linked, the Elon Musk Neuralink company gets all of it.
Okay.
So I get if you're a paraplegic, I mean, it's
Well,
what you need, and you are paying them.
right. Well, yeah, they're not paying. He's not. He's a
Not right now.
volunteer.
The volunteer isn't paying, but
Right.
eventually, like, you know, the intention for this, when it
Right.
eventually goes into, like, I don't know. I can't imagine it being in retail. Like, I can't imagine like picking it up at Target. But you
What
know,
I'm wondering
Mhm.
is, with the burgeoning growth of AI,
Yeah.
and Neuralink, what would happen if you were just to mentally just flip through files in your brain?
The thing is, I know, but I have a feeling that's way too much. I don't think our brain would be able to handle that.
Really?
I don't know.
I think it can.
Maybe it could, but it would be really bad. Like, it would really need to be stable. Like, it would need to be controlled.
Right?
Otherwise, and then
Well,
again,
so you have to use a computer
you're
as an
making your
interface.
brain the computer at that point.
Your brain is one of the drives. It's like one
Yeah.
hard drive uh, resourcing another hard drive for data.
But at that point,
I think
doing
that's,
all those
I think
things
that's
at
where
once.
it's going to go, though.
I know, but doing all those things at once, that you're not a hard drive anymore. You're a freaking computer. So I still think that's a little crazy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I can't, especially the ADHD kids. Holy crap! If ADHD exists,
Right.
poor people. But I still think. Actually, speaking of technology, when I was doing my internal assessment on my brother, so
Mhm.
Generation Alpha, of course, the little kids, for you guys, your grandbabies,
Mhm.
right? They're obsessed. There's a thing called iPad kids now, this whole stereotype, because they're like raised on iPads and they're like obsessed with the iPad. And if you take away the iPad,
They
they like,
cry, throw.
oh yeah, same thing with my brother. Like,
Yeah.
he needs to go to rehab.
I see this in stores, where mom and dad, they hand their phone or an
Yeah.
iPad to a kid and they're pushing them in strollers.
The whole world is iPad.
Yeah.
You take it away, oh my god.
Right.
And I'm a little guilty of this. I don't scream and stuff because it's not. I'm
thank
not
you.
like a little baby. But yesterday, I have an iPhone 11 Pro, so I've had it for like 4 or 5 years. It's old enough to the point where Apple's like, making it malfunction.
Oh,
So I buy another one, right?
right.
And so it malfunctioned yesterday, and I couldn't swipe. I couldn't do anything. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't scream, but I
Yeah.
felt naked. Like, it was bad.
Wow.
Because like these devices, to me,
They're-
my whole world is in this device.
They're like
Everything I do.
like another appendage.
It's not just that, but it's
Right.
life support.
Right.
I can't text my mom now. I can't text my dad now. I can't Uber anywhere now. I can't search anything up. I can't look at what's going on outside. I can't look at the weather. I can't navigate where I'm going. I can't access my school homework. I can't do anything. I can't talk to any of my friends. I don't know. Are they still alive? I don't have social media, but I can't do anything. Like, absolutely everything's on there. Soon as it went off and I couldn't use it, I kind of a little bit panicked a little bit.
It sounds like it.
And
Yeah.
thinking about it right now is scary. And I know it's like insane, but with my generation, I don't think with the computer in our brain is going to kind of be bad. But at the same time, I feel like, I know a lot of people say it's natural, but I actually tend to disagree. I think it is natural, because I think it's natural for human beings to try to go beyond their human nature to begin with. Because then again, think about every single other animal, right? Like, they always work with their environment. We had to create it because we didn't like it.
Right.
Like,
What do
we
you
didn't
want me
see
to
a river and we didn't develop gills and fins and swim across it. We wanted to build a bridge instead. So I feel like, I know this whole technology thing is insane
Mhm.
and that it's ruining children and their emotions and their self-control, but at the same time, it's kind of inevitable. And at the same time, I think it's just natural now. And at this point, though,
So what are you gonna try to? Okay, so let's take
we'll
our
continue
break,
this.
and we'll see if we can find a way to wean you off of technology gradually, so that
Okay.
you are more at peace with yourself. But
Okay.
let's toss
And
the rocket.
now-
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Again?
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto!
Wrong hat.
I take a 7.5.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
I'll lay down and go in a truck.
all right.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen,
we've
I'm
been-
talking about
I've
how
been-
easy it is to kidnap me.
No.
Yeah,
It's-
I'm
it's-
such a small package. I'm
Oh,
perfect. You could fit me in small spaces in a trunk. You could
Right.
probably fit me in the glove box. No joke.
Stop
Like
it.
anyone could kidnap
Stop
me.
it.
That's why I need my phone with me.
Oh, lordy.
There's like a special emergency
Oh.
contact number here. I have like Life 360. And the thing is, even if the kidnapper throws the phone,
Mhm.
Life 360 will record the last place where I had my phone. So then like cops could use that to help. That's why I should always have my phone with me, even though it's bad.
Right.
Maybe one day I'll get super, super, super rich and I'll just pay like a bodyguard to be with me at all times to hold the phone for me.
There's
so I
that.
don't have to hold the phone.
There's a movie called Bodyguard.
Oh yeah, with what was it? What's her name? Whitney Houston?
Whitney Houston.
Yeah,
Exactly right. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Except I'm probably not gonna get romantically involved with the
No,
bodyguard.
no,
No.
I wasn't referring to that, but
No.
I just remember there's a movie.
Maybe he is cute. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
But anyways,
Anyway, I'm
all
too
right.
young for that crap.
No, yeah, exactly
Anyway.
right.
Anyway, so when I was doing the internal assessment with my brother,
Mm-hmm.
so I established using linear regression. I'm gonna say big words. It's gonna make me sound smart, ladies and gentlemen. I assure you, it's the easiest stuff in the world. I could explain to you how to do this basic statistical math in 10 minutes. Don't
Okay.
worry, I use a calculator for everything. Anyway, so I use linear regression, and I established a correlation between Squishy, who is my brother's screen time and food consumption. So there's a strong negative correlation. So the more screen time he uses, obviously, the less food he eats.
Right.
Then I administered a survey to his kindergarten peers. Okay. So all y'all who have grandchildren, Felix A. Williams, I probably have their numbers in my paper. Anyway, so I looked at if they have trouble eating in the first place and how much food they eat with screen time and how much food they eat without screen time and how much screen time they have. Right. So I looked at it and I did like a chi-squared test for independence to see if the variables they're correlated, but of course correlation does not show causation.
Right.
So the independence thing will show if the variables affect each other or don't affect each other. So they affect each other, guys.
Yeah.
I found out mathematically proven that they affect each other. Now this has been done before in other studies, but the thing is, the next part of our investigation, which I haven't done, other studies say that with screen time, with Gen Alpha specifically, with little kids, it increases the chance of obesity because they start going to junk food like Doritos
Right.
and stuff.
Right, because it
But
gives them a full.
My
full
brother's
feeling.
losing weight. He's not eating at all.
Right.
So that's why my case is a little different. That's what I need to check out.
People
yeah.
react differently to different stimuli. Too.
I know. But
So,
like Squishy is too small.
yeah.
Like
Well,
way too small.
Okay.
Like he's wearing 3-year-old clothes and he's 6.
Yeah. All right. So he's got to bulk up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teach him how to milkshakes.
Milkshakes.
Milkshakes. Yeah.
Wouldn't that make him fatter?
Yes. But
Oh,
if he's too small,
No fair.
no, just give him.
No fair. I wish
high-
I was super skinny, like to
high-
the point of being
higher-
unhealthy, so I could just chug milkshakes.
Yeah, higher caloric food intake. Absolutely.
Yeah.
On May 16th in 1842, about 100 pioneers with 18 wagons set out from Independence, Missouri, in one of the first wagon trains to the Northwest. Over the next 2 decades, tens of thousands would follow on the Oregon Trail, the longest of the greatest overland routes to the Western frontier.
Is it still around or is it a highway now?
It's probably a highway now, but
Okay.
my guess is on the highway, it's probably named,
Oregon Trail.
the
Oregon.
Oregon Trail. Absolutely.
What if they made it a railway and called it the Oregon Rail?
They could do that. But
Or what if it was like an abandoned project and they call it the Oregon Fail?
there's many opportunities.
I'm grabbing bars here.
Yes. All right. And in 1836, on this date, the first steam boat on the Pacific coast, the Beaver, was tested at Vancouver, Washington. Wow. The very first steamboat.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. That was on 1836. In 1842, the very first wagon train sets forth the Northwest Oregon Trail. We talked about that. In 1868, the Senate fails by 1 vote to convict President Andrew Johnson, and in his impeachment trial, he was later acquitted of all charges. And let's see, in Philadelphia, German immigrant Emily Bernlinger demonstrates the first modern phonograph record.
Oh,
Ernie. Okay. And in 1929, Emile Jennings, a Best Actor, Janet Gaynor, the Best Actress, are among the winners of the first Oscars presented at a Hollywood banquet. 1929.
cool.
Wow, yeah. And Queen Elizabeth becomes the first British monarch to address Congress in 1991.
That's pretty cool.
That is very cool. And that is it, this day in history. Cool.
That's wild. I
Yeah.
always forget everything we talk about in this day in history.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that profound.
Yeah.
Profoundly interesting.
I just forget the day, you know.
Yeah.
But
All right.
yeah,
Well,
no, it's
there's
pretty
that.
fun though. At the moment, it's like the type of thing that's fun at the moment, but then you forget after 20
Mhm.
minutes.
Right. And this is just,
Radio.
radio, little light entertainment on the way home, a little news, a little information stuff. According to Newsmax, the House votes to require bomb delivery to Israel in a GOP-led rebuke of Biden. So there's that. That's after the House and the Senate voted to send aid to Israel.
Yeah.
And then the White House says, yeah, well, not so much. We're going to withhold that. So it's like, no, you asked for it. We gave it to you. You better use it.
They
So-
asked for it, then they said no.
Right, because they're not happy. They're not happy with the way Israel is conducting their prosecution of Hamas.
Of the war criminals.
Right,
They don't like that they're punishing the war criminals.
correct.
Huh?
They don't- well, because there's the way the work.
I think they're just freaked out about their voting space.
exactly
They're
right.
trying to just
exactly.
say something.
Well,
so
instead
they
of
keep the
being
voter space, but then they don't wanna
it's-
act.
It's misplaced unhappiness,
Yeah.
anger, unhappiness,
Yeah.
however you want to put it. The really unhappy part of it is Hamas is deliberately putting innocent women and children
Yeah.
above ground in these
My
buildings,
friends have seen
and
it.
they're hiding. Hamas guys are hiding in tunnels, and they're not allowing free access.
And literally,
Right,
my friends have seen these babies get killed
right,
on Instagram.
right,
Like it's that obvious.
right.
And there's still people who are like, "Oh, you know what? I think it's justified." What?
Well, so I mean, the whole thing
Yeah.
is just, it's a mess. So the Hamas people are deliberately
Yeah.
causing their own citizens to die, and they're blaming
Mm-hmm.
Israel for prosecuting a war against Hamas. They're hiding in tunnels and allowing these innocent civilians.
Yeah, and because of this stupid Hamas, I can never look at hummus the same again.
Right. Yes. Yeah. There's that. Okay. And we've got to pretty much get out of Dodge here.
Oh, it's bye-bye?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye,
Yeah.
guys. See
Yeah.
ya.
All right. We thank you
We
for
got a
listening.
dip.
We'll be back next week. Thanks for listening.